Tesla's robo-taxis and those humanoid robots guaranteed are going to destroy all Uber Eats drivers' jobs within the next 4 years. And the employees at Uber Eats aren't immune either. You're all going to get fired too, unless you have some really extreme technical background. Yes, this is shocking. I'm going to clearly and concisely let you know how I came to this realization. A lot of it is based on my background. I've got 6 years part-time doing Uber Eats food delivery. Also, I'm a former rideshare driver. So when you pair that expertise with this breaking new information, I can easily see there's a huge transformative shift in our daily work and lives is guaranteed to happen. And yes, I will share links for the videos and the articles that I'm going to reference in this, and you can check that out later. So if you're out delivering food, put your app on pause. If you're driving, pull over and get ready to be astounded. And I do want to let you know up front, for years now, I have bought and held shares of Tesla's stock because I think it's a great buy. This isn't financial advice, by the way. When the market recently dropped, I bought more shares. Once I came across this amazing information, I went out and I bought a lot more shares. Why would I do that? That's going to be my payoff one day when this happens and Uber Eats lets me go. So again, this isn't financial advice, but you need to understand this background before you can take action on these 3 main insights. Let's get started. So I know we've all seen the news. Uber Eats has been testing some food delivery robots, the things that are like little box things going around on the street. And I'll tell you what, it really is sad to see that people are out there damaging personal property, vandalizing them, tipping them over, and if nothing else, impeding their progress for what, fun? That's not a good source of entertainment. I have noticed with these food delivery bots, they're out there, the customer comes out to get their food. So right away, they can't go upstairs. So I knew right there, my job is safe for years. So it's more of a publicity stunt. Maybe it's something they're working on, but it's not good enough to take my job. Also, I don't know if you're aware, Uber has been very upfront. They've been trying to get autonomous vehicles for years. That's their answer to remaining profitable all the time. Overall, it just sounds like a really good marketing pitch. But there's a little bit more to that, which we'll get to here in a little bit. And I'm sure you've noticed as well on the news, other vehicle makers, these things work for a while. They're fenced in a little track. But when they deviate from that, if they get stuck in water, something strange happens, it just doesn't go well. And then also, I remember the one where the police are trying to chase it and it doesn't pull over right away. So this is clearly a problem. And obviously, people aren't going to trust their lives to a dumb machine. So in light of that, with the robot, the autonomous vehicles, I knew it sounds like good talk, good ideas, but it's not going to impact my job. I have a steady job for years. Things have changed though. Here's the first main insight. Tesla has changed things forever. They have done it. They have full self-driving, and they do it based on vision. We're human beings. We use our eyes quite well. Tesla has used cameras all over the car to have vision so that they're not restricted by anything. They can just drive around and they know where to go. And the reason they can do this is because Tesla is an artificial intelligence company. Right now, they just happen to have some cars and some other things. But overall, they're an artificial intelligence company. So all the human drivers that have been out in their vehicles, they've been gathering data for millions of miles and many years to train the algorithm within the AI. So this full self-driving is safe and you can trust your life to it. And here's an idea for you with Tesla. If they can take this artificial intelligence as the brain, basically make any device, whatever it is, and put some cameras on it, I'll bet you it can do as well or better than a human being. Naturally, we're not going to be replaced completely, but think of the creativity that Tesla's already done with vehicles. I'll bet you they can do anything they put their mind to. And you may say, hey, this isn't happening yet, but it's starting. Here in California, within the last week or so, the Utilities Commission did approve a ride-hailing permit for Tesla, the actual company. And that's not for unsupervised driving, but that's the first step. Once they get that first permit, and then they can prove and test out the unsupervised permit. And did you know, early this summer in Austin, Texas, Tesla does have an unsupervised permit to practice ride hailing there. So it is happening. Here's the second main insight, and this is powerful. Elon Musk was successful before he started Tesla, and he's also been successful in many of his other companies. So let's take a look at some of them. First up is SpaceX. Think of back in the day, it took the entire resources of our nation to go to the moon. Now we have a private industry company leading the way, basically taking the place of NASA and doing everything that they used to do. So I would categorize this as very successful. Look how ambitious Elon is to go to Mars one day. So if they can put their effort and be successful there, surely they're going to be successful with the autonomous vehicles. Next, what about the Boring Company? No, I'm not talking about an actual boring, uninterested company. I'm talking about the one that Elon designed to where there's a machine that tunnels underground and basically makes a finished tunnel ready for transportation to use. The old way took a lot of machines, and I'm sure it was slow and not as safe. So he came up with this company. It's successful, and they're already tunneling and using these kind of things. So I would say that's success as well. The next successful company that Elon owns is Neuralink. This is for disabled people. They're putting some kind of chip in the brain to where they can think and then control motion using their mind. How powerful is that? And that's one of the first ever things that's been successful. So I can only imagine one day all of humanity is going to benefit from something like this. I would call that success. Next, everybody knows about Twitter, that company X. Elon went in, cleaned house, made it a lot more efficient, and I think what he's trying to do is make it an app of all things to where we just get on X and do everything in our lives. I would say that is successful as well. And then finally, XAI is his own AI company, and we all know, obviously, ChatGPT led the way. He was involved in that with OpenAI. And I think that was the first broad recognition in public of ChatGPT that you can ask a question and it'll just tell you an answer in seconds. So I would say his company is also going to be successful however he chooses to use it. And then getting back to Tesla, I'm sure you know they already have their own solar company within that as well. And you know what? Here's a huge black eye on the industry. When SunPower went out of business, they went bankrupt. Can you imagine all those customers that spent thousands of dollars? Yes, Elon's company through Tesla was far more expensive, but they're still here and they're reliable and it works. So overall, pretty much everything that Elon's been involved in has been successful. I think that's a great track record. In light of these success stories, let's get into that third massive insight, and that deals with UberEats. So before I had a bunch of positive information, now there's not a lot of positive information when it comes to UberEats, but that's something for you to realize. This is why it's important. I can't prove it, but I'm pretty sure that back in the day, Uber doing rideshare as well as Lyft, they knew that drivers are expensive. And so that was always their long-term plan, was selling this dream in the future of autonomous vehicles. That way we won't have to worry about paying drivers. And if you've noticed over the last few years, UberEats has never really talked about the drivers. It's always about the customer, some new ideas they have. How come they don't talk about the drivers? I'll just say it's because drivers don't matter to UberEats. At the slightest hint of something going wrong, if a customer complains or if there's a glitch in the app, they just get rid of the driver. They throw us in the trash. And what I don't understand, I understand it, I just don't like it. It's just the complete disregard for drivers. Without drivers moving the product, whether that's food or the passenger, UberEats doesn't make any money. So for you drivers, how do you feel being disrespected, and how quickly do you think we're going to be thrown in the trash one day when we have those autonomous vehicles and the humanoid robots that can go up the stairs and make a delivery anywhere we can? Furthermore, Uber Eats bills themselves as a technology company. Pretty much, they're just getting a cut of every business. They're involved here. They're linking the customer with the business, with the driver, and that's it. How many of the Uber Eats employees actually have some logistics skills? I would say not many, because they actually don't care about the industry. Yeah, they're trying to get a cut from many different types of transactions. As you know, with food delivery, you've got package delivery, the restaurants, you even have grocery shopping. On the rideshare side, you have passengers, and those are adults, kids, elderly, medical patients. You even have pets getting rides. Uber Eats has also gone into the freight business with trucking. And if that's not enough, they're even as a temp agency to get other work for drivers. So they're all over the place. So based on your experience as a driver over the years, how has Uber Eats treated you? Has it been with respect? Do they value you? So again, when these autonomous vehicles and the robots show up, how quickly do you think they're going to get rid of you and I? So what are you going to do with this information? And trust me, I'm asking myself the same thing. So please share in the comments your thoughts on this. What are you going to do? For me, I know it's coming, but in reality, I'm just going to keep working as long as this gig work lasts, because I do enjoy the flexibility. I could see maybe there would be a little bit of a buffer. The catering orders might be pretty good for a while because the robot's not a human being. But the simple drop-off and pickups, I could see the writings on the wall. I do recognize eventually I'm going to have to get into a different field for making some side income. What that is, I don't know. But again, we have 4 years to see this coming. And here's the thing, when we see the robo-taxis out there and you see people getting in them because they trust them with their lives, to me, the writing's on the wall. And then I think a little bit later when we see those humanoid robots in our workplace, in our homes, that's when I'm going to realize that my job has limited time. And obviously, Uber Eats doesn't care about us, so they're going to trash us as quickly as possible. Until that happens, wouldn't you like to know how to deliver food both safely and profitably? I'm sure you can agree. We need to be safe when we're out delivering, and we need to be profitable. Otherwise, we're going to go out of business. I have great news for you. I've made a video covering both of those important topics. Pay close attention to it, because you know who's going to? The robots. The humanoid robots are going to watch that video too, and they're going to try to outperform you. So watch that video next, and I'll see you there.